is the number to send us your thoughts. And you can also send videos as well. Now, South Africa and India have pledged to deepen strategic cooperation. The two countries earlier today signed a 3-year program to boost cooperation after a meeting between President Cyril Ramaphosa and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. President Ramaphosa said that the 3-year strategic program is aimed at deepening the bilateral engagement between the two countries. The president, accompanied by 9 ministers, is on a 2-day visit to India. He said that the focus of his historic visit is to consolidate ties between the two countries. President Ramaphosa will be the chief guest during celebrations of India's 69th Republic Day on Saturday.
We concluded this morning a 3-year strategic program of cooperation aimed at deepening the bilateral engagement between India and South Africa and ensuring that a result-oriented partnership benefits the peoples of both countries. We have instructed our ministers and officials to commence immediate implementation of this program that we have concluded in order to take our bilateral level to a higher level.
The president also delivered a lecture in honor of Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi.
Their legacies go far beyond their statures as the founding fathers of our two great independent nations, India and South Africa. What they lived for, what they stood for, and indeed what they fought for continues to resonate with people across the world decades since their departure from this earth. They have influenced generations of leaders, not just in South Africa and India, but worldwide. Their thought on justice and liberty, on human dignity and human rights, and on a non-violent resistance process continues to influence social and political movements in all 4 corners of the globe. They shared a common passion for and understanding of the principle of sustainable development decades before the term was even coined. They understood the importance of environmental conservation, of the development of rural communities, of agricultural self-sufficiency. They understood this as being the critical process in any nation's success. Gandhi and Madiba were products of their time. They were also products of the social, political, cultural, and other influences that made them, that shaped them, and molded them into what they became.
Our India correspondent Neha Poonia has been following the president's visit, and we spoke to her a little bit earlier.
Every year, India sees many foreign dignitaries come to New Delhi to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi to hold bilateral engagements. But there's only one leader who's accorded that honor of being the chief guest at our Republic Day parade. This year, that occasion is even more special. India marks 70 years since it became a republic. We're marking 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi's birth, and South Africa is marking 100 years of Madiba. So all of that coming together on one big day, when you'll have President Ramaphosa standing next to the Indian President, taking the salute from the marching contingents on Republic Day tomorrow, and that's going to be very high on optics. And Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said it is a signal of the kind of importance that India accords to South Africa, to Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa himself, and it's also a culmination, in a sense, of India's Africa outreach, with experts saying India has given that importance to South Africa, the country that matters the most as far as bilateral ties are concerned in the African continent.
So both countries are looking to boost ties right across all spheres, and particularly in the area of trade and investment. Did they talk about any particular numbers in terms of goals?
We didn't hear any numbers as such when the two leaders delivered that joint press statement a short while ago in New Delhi, but Mr. Ramaphosa did make a reference to the existing bilateral trade numbers, saying that they're not enough. We can certainly do a lot more in that quarter, but we're being told by officials that the target for both countries in that 3-year plan that they've signed is to double existing bilateral trade by 2021. So that's the aim that they're both looking at. The leaders have also said that they've set a timeline of 3 years for ministers on both sides to work towards achieving that goal. We'll also see Mr. Ramaphosa speaking at that business forum in a short while from now, so we could get a sense of what are the numbers they're looking at, what are the areas apart from defense, maritime security, and of course agro-processing that both countries want to expand cooperation in.
Regarding issues back home, President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on all eligible voters to play their part in the success of the forthcoming provincial and national elections. He says that this is by registering to vote during the Independent Electoral Commission's final registration drive this weekend.
The Independent Electoral Commission will hold the final voter registration weekend before the next national and provincial elections. The simple and easy act of becoming a registered voter is your first step towards shaping your own future and that of your country. As we celebrate 25 years of freedom and democracy, the forthcoming election is your opportunity to make your own history and to help South Africa grow towards a brighter future. Use your freedom and make your mark. If you are 18 years of age or older, take your ID book along to your nearest voting station on the 26th and 27th of January and register to vote. Your future is in your hands.
And still with matters regarding voter registration, the